IRC Media brings you the first source you can watch for truth on board decisions in Indian River County. The Board Report, where taxpayers and policymakers intersect. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform to get notified when we go live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Visit IndianRiverConnections.com for more.
Hi, Joanne.
Hey, Mike, it's been a while.
Yes, we've been juggling with cancellations and health and busy time of year, and I think
Yeah.
the last show was me and Jennifer, or did you guys do one last week?
No, it was you and
No.
Jennifer.
Yeah, I thought that's what I thought. Yeah, and that was a good interview. And
Hmm.
it's funny whenever I interview Jennifer, something happens. My first interview ever was with Jennifer, and it was in front of the school board buildings, and there was I had to edit the sound, right, to get the right audio. But no matter what I did, there was a cow probably 5 miles away mooing that stood out amongst everything else, and I could not get it to come out, even using AI. And then we did a recording with her, or I did a recorded interview, pre-recorded, and half of it turned out great. Half of it turned out like crap with some kind of internet issue. So it's like, so then we had her booked for Friday night, and I think you had something going, something came up for you and somebody else had to cancel. So it was like, well, here we go. We'll just do it live. And then I was able to play it over again for a couple weeks in a row. But yeah, it's always fun and informative talking to Jen. And real quick, we do know Jen on a personal note, but
Mhm.
I've come to know Jen on a personal note because I always thought she spoke frank and from the heart and was very informative. I might not agree with her on everything, but that's just how we do it. Most everything I agree with her, I'm assuming, but uh yeah, it's just how it is. Like
Yeah,
we're
and you
very
don't have to
open-minded, but
agree with somebody all the time because,
yeah.
they have a good soul, and Jen has a good soul. She's a good person and she wants to do what's best for anybody. She's an honest person. So
Yeah.
you can't always be, meet on the same level all the time because we're all
Yeah.
individuals, but she's a great person,
Yeah,
and
I didn't mean I'm not plugging her really, but plugging our interview with her. It actually turned out great. Jen is a great person, but we would give that same time to any candidate we
Mhm.
would hope that would be willing to come and speak their piece of mind, right or left, as long as they're not wackos, which we have our share of wackos around here. But we're not like that. So as long as you're
No, we
respectable and
yeah,
stuff
we
like
wanna
that, yeah.
open the floor to all the candidates to come on
Yes.
board because a lot of people watch us, and it's a great place to have the candidates be themselves. That's what I love about having them on because when they go to these forums, like these events for the taxpayers or, for the Republican Club, it's certain questions and they all have to answer the same question. When you have them on their own, it's more genuine, it's more off the cuff. You can just ask all kinds of questions and really they get so relaxed with us. So that's the side I really want to see in those candidates. We want to see the true person that they are rather than I'm going to wear my suit and be formal and ask the question that you're asking the other three, answer the question that you're answering the other three candidates have to answer, and who's going to
Right.
give the best answer.
Right. So, not to cut you off, Joanne, but when we come back, we'll be talking to Kevin McDonald, former school board member, and Thomas Augustus from the Sunshine Journal. And we're going to be covering a topic that's got you excited was the county's approval of a new K through 12 school,
Hmm.
classical, right?
Yes, the classical school, the
Yep.
Christian classical school that's opening up off of 13th Street Southwest.
And then we'll also touch a little bit on what's going on out west of town in Fellsmere, which is the county's largest city by landmass, and big movements out there that are reassuring to some of the people around here. So, but before that, if you are watching and you're in some other part of the county and you aren't getting what you feel is important to you, please reach out to us because we want to cover as much as we can, but there's only so much we can spread ourselves amongst our full-time jobs and our full-time fun hobby here. So we're welcoming and inviting other guests. You just give us an email, shoot us a call or something like that, and we send you a link. You can come on. Or if not, send us an email at info@ircmedia.net about what your concern is in your county or your city council or mosquito district or wherever. School district is a big topic. Obviously, we cover that quite a bit too. So it's a big subject field. So besides that, Joanne, the Warrior Shield, it's coming up. You're going in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going in September, and I want to stress to our friends that are veterans and stuff like that, first responders, they get into the Hero Fest for free, and that's the concert on Friday night. It's got musicians like Bo Bice from American Idol, Ryan Weaver, Natasha Owens. I believe she's coming back. I'm like 199.9% sure Natasha Owens is coming back. She's the one who did the Somali waltz after Tim Waltz did his little thing about the
Yep, that's
fraud.
right.
And she also did a song more recently that topped Bruce Springsteen in the charts when he came out, Anti-MAGA. She had a song that kind of countered that. So I wish I had it pulled
Wow.
up because
I know. I was just gonna say
she's
that.
going toe to toe. She does the national anthem at Mar-a-Lago quite often for the president, and she does a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a great night. Our friends, I think me and you were the only ones from around here that went last year,
Mhm.
but we know many veterans that could get in for free. Now the hotel's not free, but
Yeah, and my
uh,
husband's a veteran, so he's coming with me this time.
that's
So
awesome.
I booked
Yeah,
it and I says, "You're coming. We're bringing little Sadie Mae with us, and join us. Come on out."
yeah.
And they have a great table of
For the
raffles. They
for
had
the
like a
auctions,
big
yeah,
firearm raffle. They had a Harley Davidson for raffle. They have all this cool stuff for raffle. It's really
yeah.
awesome. Show up. Come on out.
And this year they're throwing all their fundraising behind the Border Patrol Foundation. So it's going to something very relevant to what's going on today, and it supports obviously families who have fallen victim
Mhm.
to criminal activity against their Border Patrol agent, parent, or whatever family member. But anyways, I'll quit shutting up and or I'll start shutting up and we'll start playing this video here. We'll be right back.
There's a kind of strength you can't buy or borrow. In the fire, tempered by sacrifice, and carried by those who never stopped serving. Some heroes wear uniforms. Others wear scars. They're veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. Men and women who gave everything and still keep giving. At the Warrior Shield Foundation, we stand beside them, shoulder to shoulder, providing the support, the care, and the community they deserve. We're a proud non-profit, a 501c3, built to protect those who protect us. We don't just serve our own. We help other non-profits reach their missions too, because together, we make the Shield stronger. Donate and help our cause, help their cause, because every act of kindness builds hope where the battle still rages inside. Join the mission. Donate today. Visit warriorshield.org. Because heroes deserve a foundation as strong as their sacrifice.
I know that music is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. Better than Bruce
We
Springsteen.
we can't hear you, Joanne.
When you go to the Warrior Shield, they have great bands. So
Yeah, not
makes
AI.
sense.
That
Yeah.
was probably AI, but They do pretty good graphics and stuff like that with their AI, but it's a great concert. Is my mic better, Thomas? I know you said I was coming in hot.
You were coming in hot. You're fine now. You're much
What
better.
does that mean, hot? You're coming
Like
in hot.
very over, like my
Overdriven.
levels are up. It's over impeding.
Oh,
It's called
I
now
thought
I
he was
sound-
meaning
now I
like,
feel like I'm
man, that's a
muffled."
hot mic. You're doing good.
If you were
That's
playing a
great.
Les Paul, it would sound great.
Everything has
Right.
context, Joanne.
All right, so we got a full
Okay.
panel, and it's good to see you guys. Where do you want to start with, Joanne? You want to start with this new school, or do
wanna go
we
old
want to talk a
school.
little bit about Fellsmere? Yeah, or
Let's
the
go-
old school.
The old school? You want to cover the old school?
Well, Fellsmere City Hall is located in the
We
old
have a
schoolhouse, so
pre-production meeting.
that's the old school.
Oh, so let's cover that. Let's do the Fellsmere conversation.
All right.
What's happening in
I
Fellsmere?
I didn't stay for the meeting last night. I know Thomas has got his ear to the ground pretty good out here too, and I get a lot of my information off of, unfortunately, Facebook, because I can't sit there for 3 hours, especially with 3 kids climbing the telephone poles outside.
I didn't say
And
either.
so yeah, it was a packed room. We both showed up and we saw it was a packed room. I felt better that it was people showed up to the second meeting. There was supposed to be a third meeting in regards to Legacy Landing, and there's not going to be a third meeting now. The
Oh, they voted it
commissioners,
down.
all but one of them voted it down. So now it's back to square one. And from what I read, I should pull this up because I didn't send it to the computer yet. So don't mind me looking at my phone.
So Legacy Landing is the subdivision, right?
Yes, and they're trying to put in a division that's
Wow.
north of O'Reilly Auto Parts, right there on 512. But the main entrance is right there in between O'Reilly Auto Parts and the Dollar General or something, I think, like that. And that road already at 8 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the afternoon is backed up 3 miles to 95 in either direction. You know,
Yeah,
it's
because it's just 2 lanes and then you have the tracks.
right. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is considered high density. Was this high density or
The
no?
high density. It's been approved for a while. The development plot for that acreage they bought was approved for a while to be high density, 10 units per acre, and the developer came in at 6.8, and I'm like, how you gonna refuse this? And I'm watching it going, yeah, I get what people might be upset, but it's on the books. They know.
And that's
A lot of people in Fellsmere, though, do know what's coming.
right. So we can wave our hands in victory right now, but they're coming back. The next development will come back again, even stronger, in the next one. So what? I mean, just sit
Well,
by
there's-
and wait for that
there's-
fight to
there's
come again,
stuff
or
out there
or
that's
do they go
already
after
been-
code?
There's stuff out there that's already been approved that could come regardless.
Well, that's that Marion Estates, right?
Well,
that was
there's
approved by
Marion
like
Estates. That's been
two.
approved.
Yeah, that like from 2 city councils ago. But I mean, now we can relish in the victory, or we can go after changing the code if you want to preserve your town. So, Fellsmere residents, don't sit back and wait for the next battle. Start the next battle and change the code, change your zoning or whatever you got to do. Don't stop now. And
What
let
do
me tell you,
change that zoning to?
whatever it's all code, because like Thomas said, this development met the code. I think the technicality they got him on was an access path that was agreed upon, but when the council members did their they looked into it a little bit, and this wasn't even an ADA compliant path, so that's where they got him, I believe. Now, I stole this from Karen
Ledford?
Woodrow Ledford. She's on our Facebook group page. She's very active with the city council and paying attention to this stuff. So I stole this. It was actually her comment to another post.
She's right.
But she said, the council did their research and found the legitimate legal reason for the judicial process found unacceptable. Through their own planner, selling them out on a crappy negotiation which gave zero public benefit, set up the city as a bill collector to repay the developer for their own access into their property. A pathway presented as a 2,000-foot linear foot sidewalk that turns out to be a non-ADA compliant stone, not concrete, and misleading, incorrect, and incomplete traffic studies.
A
That was a ramble, sorry.
non-AD. Hold on. Just
They
stop
did
right
their
there. Just stop right there. A non-ADA
okay.
compliant stone was going to be how this sidewalk was constructed. That's how many feet? 2,000?
2,000 foot. So it sounds like it was sold like it was going to be a concrete pathway, but when in fact it was probably just a crushed stone
Chip seal.
gravel pathway.
Could have been a chip seal. You never
Yeah.
know.
So she said it was misleading, incorrect, and incomplete traffic studies. They did
Not
their
the nerding they must have
due
done.
diligence.
Right, Kevin?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
I said the nerding they must have done.
Then they sat through 30 minutes of their own legal team lecturing them on how they must pass the development no matter if it's flawed. They stood up and they had the courage to say, no, thank you, council, you rock. The only one that voted against it, I don't have a screenshot, was the vice mayor, which is Fernando
Mr. Hernandez?
I think so. I
Did
think
he-
that
They
was,
wanted the mayor's vote. Salgado, is that her name?
yeah, and that's what I kept hearing was that most of this council was anti-development. And like we were talking, my only assumption is they needed the public behind them to rightfully say we're not going to approve this because
Well,
it's
here's the
just
thing.
not good for a business.
Here's the thing. You can't break the law to not approve it. But you have this outcry from the people that, oh, we don't want to have this in Fellsmere, blah, blah, blah. But they can't break their own zoning laws and not approve it. So they start going through the whole application, looking at materials, looking at all these little things. It's like, what little hairline thing can we find that breaks our code so therefore we can just throw this out the window and be on the people's side? That's what happened here. That's
And that's a
pretty,
good thing. If
that's
what
pretty
people want.
ruthless. If you ask me.
But that's what had to be done.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
But
can.
it's not
find
like
the
a guy
actual
couldn't
post
go
with
find some ADA compliant material to build a sidewalk.
Well, it's nice that they're listening.
Which is probably
to
what their lawyers were
constituents.
thinking at the city council.
right.
Very foolish of them to cut a corner on a pretty inexpensive piece of the whole project.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, this a representative from this company has been calling local business owners and asking their opinion on more development, and they couldn't figure out why local businesses weren't in favor of developing all this land. And it's like because you're not going to bring us any more business. 80% of this town leaves this town to go to work, if not more. There's
They
no
have to.
jobs in Fellsmere. Right. So
But-
everybody's coming or going.
But if
Yeah, they're
you're a
working
local
in
business
Brevard
like
County.
a restaurant or something, you'd have natural business. I mean, your guys, the Taco Mobile is going to be Taco Stationary soon.
Well,
You
that got
it's
approved, I
downtown
believe, last
restaurant.
night.
Yeah, everybody loves Taco Mobile, and so that's a great story. But yeah, I mean, having residents there come home from work, obviously it'll take them longer because 512 is a mess. But then they go to Taco Stationary and have some great tacos, or wherever else they would eat.
Yeah, there's quite a few options out here now. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see the historic district here, like flourish, bring in more outside money. But we don't. I don't know. I think. I don't know. I'm not in
Had a
their
big
position,
chunk
but
outside money get shot down last night.
I like
Yeah.
Sebastian. I mean, if they really worked on that US 1 and brought some more businesses where people would want to go and hang out more, I think it would be a good thing, you know?
Well, Fellsmere's got that historical aspect that they can really capitalize on down Broadway, the old schoolhouse. They do the Frog Lake Festival, and there's a lot, I think, potential out there. But the one that voted in favor was the Fernando Herrera.
Herrera, not Hernandez. is.
I believe he's the vice mayor. So yeah, that was a bonus out of Fellsmere. Taco Mobile, I think, is getting approved. There might be another public. It seems like there's a lot of
There's
public
3
hearings.
readings. You guys have a 3 reading thing, and so does.
I have no idea what that even means. It's
So the
way
first reading
overcomplicated for me.
is here's the presentation, and that's what they did, and they voted to further that. And then the second reading is basically, okay, you guys have made your presentation. We have studied it, and we found that your sidewalk isn't ADA compliant, so now we're voting it down.
So
It's the same thing that happened with the
It takes 3 times on the agenda to get officially acted upon.
Yeah, because sometimes I think they even, they could. I don't know if they could do this, but they could allow leave to amend the application so as to come into compliance if they were for it.
I would imagine they would try and do that anyway.
Exactly. They're going to bring it back. They're going to spend another $100 a square yard or whatever, so they can have the right concrete. I would.
Yeah, it's not that much of an expense.
And it's affordable housing.
What is that?
Yeah, do you remember what the prices were?
Whole wide
I
world.
don't know what that is.
The affordable housing, I thought it was over. Weren't they coming in just under 400,000
Really?
for the cheapest units? Then there was townhome units that were even more, I believe.
Ledford, she's a real estate agent, and so she did a whole study on it. And for the single family homes, she said with the taxes and insurance, et cetera, and all that, at current interest rates, the payment came out to $3,012 a month.
Yeah, that's
Really?
not affordable.
That's affordable housing for you.
That's
Maybe
what's
if
hitting
you run
our
a Somali
kids so
daycare.
hard. Yeah, let's run some fraud out here.
Yeah,
Something's going
up a
on.
bunch of
I don't know what the
hospices.
townhouses, I guess, were a little less that were in there.
That's just crazy because our kids are, my daughter's 28. She can't afford something like that.
Well, you
If
have to
you're
have
ever living with a roommate.
You can find housing at that price around closer to Vero Beach, and if you're working in Vero Beach, why would you go out to Fellsmere for the same price?
Right.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to have a job here in Vero Beach and pay $3,000 a month
Right.
for a place to live.
Much less drive 20 miles to Fellsmere.
Well, $68,000 is the mean income here in Indian River County. $3,000 a month is $36,000 a year just in housing. You're already at
More than 50.
50%, more than 50%. And your mortgage to debt your income to debt ratio should be in the 30s.
Right.
Yeah,
28.
there's a problem. There's
So
a
how
severe
do the
problem.
people in the service industry survive in Vero Beach?
They get better jobs outside of the service industry.
They live in Sebastian,
This is
which is not far off either.
When this was an agricultural place and the economy was different, it made perfect sense. This county's transitioning out of agriculture. They can sit here and say that's our primary industry. Well, from a land standpoint, because look at all the land it still sort of is being consumed by agriculture, but even the agriculture is not doing too well. And so there's a transition going on here. And the question is, just straight housing is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. You have to have some type of industry here. Joanne, you were right 4 years ago. You were
know, you
right
keep saying
on
that.
the freaking. It's so dang true. It's staring us right in the face. And Fellsmere is the landmass to actually do it.
Yeah, it is. And
To
we
bring
could
the
we could have
commercial
done it.
industry that needs to be brought in here to allow people to afford to live. And this whole affordable housing thing, workforce housing thing, we're not people's indentured servants. I went to the Let's Talk Vero. I was stunned by this factoid that came out in the thing. Barbell, who hosts the thing, said this. She said, there's 3,600 counties in the United States, 3,619 or 9 or whatever. And when it comes to income gap, Indian River County is number 10 in the United States.
We have a huge
Between
income
rich and
gap
poor.
here.
And so all these people are running around who are rich going, we need a workforce housing. Like, what are we on a giant plantation here?
Yeah, they need it because they have to ship people in from England to work here.
They're going to do that anyway. Keep their labor costs down.
Anyways,
Biggest news
so
I ever heard. There's workforce
Yeah.
housing.
I think
for
you're
you.
taking shots at the island here, Thomas.
I know you live on it. I know you live on it, but you're always working on your house.
I try and do my own.
I know, and one of these days you're going to get in trouble because someone's going to go, you can't do that in the HOA.
No problem.
You're
At
breaking
my
the
age,
rules.
The HOA doesn't tell me I can't do it.
Oh, I mean, Indian River Shores, by the way, on May 18th, here's a good one for you. May 18th, they're going to decide whether or not they're going to have a public hearing because the city council, Indian River Shores, says they don't even want to entertain this question. But they're going to allow the public of Indian River Shores to do it. And the question will be whether or not from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. you can have a pickup parked in your driveway.
What?
Yes. There is an ordinance in Indian River Shores, unless you have your pickup garage, you cannot park a pickup truck, an F-150, even one that's $80,000 and brand new, in the driveway.
What if that's all you own is pickups? I love pickups.
You're going to have
Right?
to go buy a spot in the grocery store parking lot.
That is so.
Yeah,
no,
Indian River Shores is
so
illegal to
socialist.
park.
Park in the garage
You can park it in the garage, yeah.
and then get a Hyundai to put out in your driveway.
Man, that's
Don't listen
terrible.
to you going, I should hold up because anyway.
How is that constitutional?
you sign on to it though.
Yeah.
You agree to those
Indian
kinds of
River
things
Shores,
when you.
man.
Although
Yeah.
I wonder how that can, if that supersedes HOA rules.
It's a
Because
town
that's an
ordinance.
That's an HOA kind of a thing.
Right.
Well,
Well, we talked about that a couple weeks ago when at a Fellsmere meeting we saw a presentation from a guy trying to sell what are these called? Oh crap! It's an HOA on steroids. It's a government HOA that that it turns into a taxing district, but they're literally like an HOA, except it's
Is it a CDD?
is that what we
housing?
called it? Yeah, community
Yeah.
development districts. Yes.
it's a community
Yeah.
development.
It's a CDD. Yeah, we don't want those.
No, but Tradition is one of those. Barefoot Bay is technically one just like it. It's got a recreation district that sets fees and impact fees and stuff like that. So,
I'm going to
There's
the
a-
pickup argument. That's going to be fun.
well, it'd be nice to get some kind of information out of Indian River Shores. There's so much going on in this area.
Well, you know, it's an
We're
interesting
worried about
issue.
pickups.
I don't know how the issue came up because most of Indian River Shores is gated with an HOA, and the HOAs have control of that question. And there's a couple of dozen houses that don't have that. Few of them are $10, $20 million houses. So I don't know who it's targeted at. Most of them are already controlled by HOAs.
Sounds like a neighborly feud between two guys who don't
it's
live
an
in the HOA.
ordinance. It's an ordinance in the city, and there's I don't know if there's a call to repeal it or whatnot, but it was brought up in the mayor's discussion, and I was like, I was watching it for something completely different. I was looking, he made a statement about property taxes and stuff, and so I was looking at it for that, and then this came up, and I was like, wow, that's hilarious.
Well, you know, it makes sense. If somebody pulled up this old ordinance and applied it to someone else, I could see the ordinance 30 years ago might have been pulled up because if you're a contractor, you not only have your truck, you got your stuff on your truck,
Oh, that can't. You're
Well,
I
you're
could
allowed to
see an
have
order-
that if they're actually working on the house.
well, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that if for that sort of thing, but to have a nice pickup truck, I mean, if I could afford it, I would never have a small car. I would have
30
all
30 years
pickup
ago,
trucks.
there was
Your-
no such thing
your
as a
husband's-
pickup truck.
Your husband's pickup truck is an illegal vehicle during the daytime.
you
You know,
imagine
as I
paying
said,
that kind of money to live in that neighborhood and they're telling you what you can own and what you cannot own?
30 years ago, there was no such thing as a nice pickup truck.
Oh,
Oh,
stop.
stop.
Ed.
Come on.
No, they were working people. Now I see 80-year-old guys driving around in pickup trucks and women, and that's become the go-to recreational upscale vehicle. That wasn't the case 30 years ago. That's what they're
I
trying to
like it as a woman because I'm on top and I can see way
do.
ahead.
You like it on
And
top, okay.
yeah.
Whoa.
I was just talking about a pickup truck. That's all, and parked in a driveway. Look what it's become. Kevin's turned red. He went out and got a sunburn while we were during.
It was spinning right on the hoop, and somebody had to tap it in. Couldn't stay there forever.
Oh, gosh.
Let your dream roll.
You'll have to clip this before you put this live.
Too late.
It's live.
It's out there. But okay, so moving on. I'm a little confused. There was the county voted yesterday or the other day to build another school. Now, is this part of the school district or is this something
No,
separate?
it's a private school.
Private. It is
So-
the fourth private Christian school.
They actually just approved the zoning.
Or charter school.
Right. Right. So it's
Yeah.
not like a county ran operated school. or
No,
nothing.
it's a competitor.
No.
Okay.
Classical.
Yeah. I love it. We've got the classical school, public classical school, and now we have the private classical school. I'm telling you what, Indian
An
River
overt
County is
Christian
moving up.
classical too.
Huh?
It's an overtly Christian classical school,
Yes, it's God-centered.
All right.
and the kids might like it because from K to 5 they don't let them do homework
Really?
I think that's great.
because
I'm an anti. How did we get switched around here? I'm an anti homework advocate.
we're switched again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the kids should be bringing home
Not in elementary school.
a bunch of schoolwork, even junior high. Like you want to get these kids energized and active in sports or volunteerism or entrepreneurship or agriculture. You can't bog them down with 2 hours worth of homework that's going to take them away from that extracurricular family activities and stuff like that. I've experienced it. I've been there. I've been that kid, and I'm that parent. And it's like, it is. Education's a big commitment, but at the same time, do we really need to send them home with a bunch of stuff they're not going to retain anyways half the time?
Well, in the lower grades, if the curriculum is right on and the engagement and classroom management is working, the kids should be absorbing everything that you're teaching them at school. You got to keep the kids active, participating and wanting to, because in those younger ages, they love to learn. And if you can tap into that, you're doing the right job and they shouldn't have to go home with homework.
Kevin, can you speak to the three qualities of a classical education, the three principles? And it's like they're based on the age, the early to the middle, and
The trivium.
yeah, the trivium. Can you explain that for people?
Yeah, sort of. It's the first portion, and I have talked about this for 2 years, but the first portion of it is to teach and gain some understanding. It's more rote learning and give the students the basics upon which they work. And so then when you get the fifth grade, then they start working on developing and understanding that. And then the last part is learning and logic and reasoning. So it's one developing the student and then teaching the student and developing their mind. And that's one of the unique things, I think, one of the several unique things about classical education is they understand and they actually have a goal and an intention of teaching logic and reason and understanding and having students come out at the end who can think, who can understand things on their own. And that's sort of the opposite of the way that our national education system indoctrinates teachers to indoctrinate students with the concept in They don't even think about the idea of having you learn and understand and being able to think for yourself. It's, we're going to give you what you think. You're going to reply back on a test what we told you to think, and then we're going to move you to the next grade. And it's sort of sad because they're really crippling students in the ability of actually being, fully. And you see the results now. Now you see the results. You've got college kids who, one, can't do anything in college, but two, they get off on crazy tangents, and you sit down with them and you ask them one question, and they go berserk because they can't even handle one question. They have no idea what they're talking about, what they think they believe, why they believe it. They have no understanding. And now we've created a generation and a half of people who are now in the business world, who are in society, who don't understand what's coming out of their mouth. And so what they'll do is they'll go to the corner and they'll yell, "No kinks."
Right.
And they don't understand what it means. To them,
It's a default. It's a default. No kings. No kings.
Yeah.
Well, I was, at the
Sorry.
the reason why I asked you to to explain the triumvium is because, that's part of why they don't do homework in K-5. Jameson Kelly was at the Let's Talk Vero Education. They put her on the stage for the forum last minute, and it was really good because her big thing was these kids will have PE every day, which is something that's been going away in public school.
Yep.
And I forget why that reason is, but they also recess
Costs money, they don't have the time.
Yeah, costs money, and they don't have time. They're trying to get the butts in the seats and get their FTE. But they've been doing that, and these people are they're very much thinking about the child. They're like, the goal of the triumvium is to really get kids to critically think. She flat out said this. She goes, "We don't tell them what to think. We teach them how to think." And because of the Christian education, the value of each person's approach and thought process is always considered. And so they're teaching kids to have heart, empathy, discipline, and all these different things that allow them to flourish in today's world. Because at the end of the day, you can churn out people with knowledge, but there was a report I just watched before we came on where 20-year-olds are upset because they don't like 9-to-5 jobs, and they're just, the selfishness is unreal. And her whole presentation was just a diversion from the modern culture. It was a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I caught some flack the other day because on my other show I shared a video, and it was a student on campus, and he was giving his fellow students, like a piece of paper to read from, and I forget what it was. It was like a simple phrase that so and so asked the orchestra to make accommodations for the colonel's schedule or something like that, and then so he'd ask them to read it, and they would read it, and they're like, and then he would ask him like, "Well, what do you think that meant?" And the kids were like, and they would read it over again. And he's like, "But what did you think it meant?" And it was pretty simple. It was, scheduling conflict, and they're asking one to accommodate the other, and like rearrange it in your head, like
Right, because there's no
comprehend it.
problem
Right.
solving
And
skills.
none of these kids, the kid actually made two videos, 2 parts, and he was going to do a third part, but they threatened him with expulsion. So
Really?
I believe they intimidated him in taking them down off
They were
social
going
media
to
because it shows.
expel him for exposing.
Right, because it
Which school was
shows.
it?
I think it was Philadelphia,
Oh, okay.
possibly. So it was somewhere not local here, but it was just a prime example of
In that
why
case-
public school is getting is getting the rap it actually deserves lately.
In that case, I'm sort of impressed that the student was able to read what was on the paper.
Yes. I that's what I thought it was going to be, something like that. And then I got to listening to it, and it's like, oh man, this is sadder than what I thought it was. Like I wouldn't be so surprised if they couldn't read. Is that sad? But to ask these kids who are like seniors and stuff like that what this means, and they're just like,
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, those skills are learned at a very early age, problem solving, reasoning, all that, and it builds up. If you're not
Thinking,
learning any of that in
thinking.
your younger years when you're a teenager graduating high school, you're just not going to have it.
So, what does this new school mean for the school district?
They got
Competition.
Competition.
And so that means less enrollment,
Well,
possible
the
loss.
the school is already in process. They are, I believe, they're now K through 7, right?
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they just started K through 7, the 7th grade this year.
So they want to build a new facility and go and
Jameson
expand.
Kelly is a mom of 3 kids, I believe, maybe 4. Yeah, their family owns a Chick-fil-A.
Oh, that's
Right here
right. I
on US
remember.
1?
I
Yes.
remember talking about the early stages of this a few months
See, the
ago.
US one, I think, do they own both? Are they both the same? They own the one up on by
On
58.
20th too, on 60?
I think they own a couple.
They might own
Oh.
the one downtown as well.
I didn't know that was all the
Oh.
same family.
I wish they'd quit forgetting my Chick-fil-A sauce. Just kidding. It's a great
For
family.
it.
Yeah. So it means nothing to the school district. What does it mean to the taxpayers of the county?
Nothing.
Nothing, because it's a private school.
Well, actually, it does mean first. It's they're going to lose as they go into high school. They're going to lose several hundred more students just to that.
Competition.
Competition is all that's direct competition, but the secondary competition is
Scholarships.
successful alternative schools are not good PR for the school district.
No.
And so those two things. But the third thing is they will be able to use vouchers. So the way the school district perceives it is they're losing money that they think belongs to them. And
We saw David Dyer encase that last meeting.
several times he's made the point that he thinks that he's of the opinion that the money belongs to the state, which belongs to the school, for them to do whatever they want with it. And how dare students want to pursue a different or better education? It's like,
And I caught that little bit where he actually lashed out at the guys from Moms for Liberty, which I believe he was referring to you, Thomas, and Jennifer, who spoke moments before him at the meeting.
Yeah, we rustled what hair he has left on his head.
and several on his chin.
Hey, man, I can say that as a fellow bald man.
But I'd said this some time ago.
He's got more hair on his head than I've got on mine, so I don't really care.
They have the crazy ladies that come with their education T-shirts on.
Education,
It's the Women's Democratic Group anyway. But they come on, and the back of their T-shirt says supporting public education. I said, I don't want to support public education. I want to support student education.
Exactly.
And that's completely lost to them because you can tell by what they put out that they really are. They like to think they're concerned about the students, but not enough.
Well, at that Let's Talk thing, one of those women asked the question to the panel, because on that panel you've got the headmaster of St. Edward's, you've got Dr. Moore, you've got Jameson Kelly over there at Vero Beach Classical, you got the lady at the Source, and she's primarily there talking about her pre-K program and what they do for early childhood stuff. And you've got the IRC lady talking about for the dual enrolled, those high school students get free classes. I forget what
Free
they call
college classes.
Yeah, it's positive something or other. And she was talking about that, and a lot of kids. When I was in high school, you guys were in high school, we never thought about going to college while we were going to high school. I'm like, well, how did school become so easy that we can also get an AA degree while we're in it?
Right? That's right.
That's
I
God
know,
love
because
these kids who
haven't
can do
really
it,
gotten
but
smarter.
I love these kids who can do it, but that tells you everything you need to know right there. The curriculum on a normal public high school is so simple. We can all go get AA degrees while we're at it. And that was never the case. I went to a private school, and I can tell you the workload for me was rough. But it's that's the question I have in my mind. How did this come to be?
Well, did
And
they lower the college?
but even in the private schools like St. Ed's got some dual enroll kids too as well.
So did the classes for college get, easier? That they're
No,
able to do them in high school?
no,
Because you could have a simple education in high school that really isn't challenging, but if you're still going to go to college, you still got to be working at
you know
that
what this
level.
is all about, really? It's what the homeschoolers have done. Because in the 90s, when homeschooling started to become a fad, you saw. I used to work with kids in youth groups, and I had a lot of homeschool kids, and my friends in other churches had homeschool kids too, and we were getting homeschool kids who graduated high school at 15 and 16 years old.
Yeah, I know
You
some
know,
of
so
them.
they're already done. And
Dr.
now,
Moore had homeschooled one or two of his children too.
yeah, and I don't know how fast she graduated, but very smart girl. I remember her coming when they honored him. But
Bring it back to the Amish. The Amish are done
Yeah.
with school by 13 or 14.
Well, it's
They
so
can build your house.
there's something to be said about this. Is that the homeschool has changed the whole paradigm of education in America for sure, and now you've got like Champ Mons, a star quarterback at Vero Beach High School, just reclassifies and says, I'm going to graduate next year as opposed to doing 2 more years in high school because he's going to get his degree as his diploma, in 3 years from the high school. And he's got Drew Rosenhaus as an agent, who's probably the biggest sports agent firm in the country, other than Jay-Z. And he's going to sign an NIL when he goes to Notre Dame after next season. And if their team wins the state championship, it's like his value as a persona for Notre Dame just goes.
Right.
So you got a 15,
Good for him.
16-year-old kid who's making 30-year-old adult decisions with his parents who are just wonderful people.
And it's great to see something like that because that sort of sets the bar a lot higher that these other kids, although they don't achieve it, they know they could have achieved it. And they know that coming up they can achieve it.
Well, and then I wrote about this in my last article prior to the one that just came out today is.
Good article today, by the way.
Thank you. And the top 10 all-star kids, there's the Atasia Cartwright, who also finished school in 3 years, and she's going to TCTC, Treasure Coast Technical College.
That's a long name.
She's going to get her nursing certificate and immediately start doing that and get into the workforce after 3 years of high school. She's well advanced. She's top 10, top whatever in her class. And, and then she's going to go pursue her education after doing some professional time in nursing. This is a completely different paradigm than you and I ever went. I mean, it's just completely different.
But it's a great example. You see some of the educators that you see in some of the different media things, and of course these are not the smartest and the best, but nonetheless they're in the schools, and you see these people and you're going, God, what kind of inspiration, what kind of motivation, what kind of a standard can that person set when they can't meet any reasonable standards themselves?
Yeah.
How can you learn from somebody who doesn't know much?
That's true.
Right.
I mean,
Pay your teachers better.
I couldn't homeschool my kids through high school. I could homeschool them in the lower grades easily, but when you start getting into high school and all those subjects, do you remember all of those textbooks that you took?
You have to read them again.
Nope.
Yep.
You have to read them the first time.
Relearn it yourself again.
Yeah, because they've rewritten them.
Read
a
them
few
again
times.
for the first time, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for tonight. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to bring up going on around the county? I know we have elections coming up.
Yeah, because we've got the new districts that have been set. District 9 is huge, and it goes
Gigantic.
into Okeechobee and what is
It's in
that?
Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel
I
like
have
that's a
mixed
challenge.
emotions.
I
Me
feel
too.
like there's probably going to be a lot of liberals in that bucket that we're in now.
I'm
Well,
trying.
presumably it obviously was skewed to be a Republican leading district.
Ultimately,
That said, there'll be more, but the thing is, we will not be a big fish in that pond, and so representation will likely not be as robust as it was is with Herodopolis, unless somebody local ends up getting that seat.
well, I can tell you, Herodopolis has made a point to listen to us.
Yeah,
I mean, he's actually been proactive in that. For
very
the
much.
first time in their lives, the city actually tried to get funding from the Congress, tried to get an earmark. And he called them and he said, "Hey, what do you guys want funding for? This is how you do the earmark process." And they did the whole application at the city. This is the first time this city of Vero Beach has ever asked for earmarks. That tells you the relationship prior to Herodopolis coming in. Herodopolis has been very proactive, and they're trying to get an earmark to do the boardwalk that's going to cost them now $4 million.
Which will then should be $8 million, and then won't get done.
Yeah,
They'll put a railroad down it, which will not get done.
So this will affect Herodopolis. Does it affect any of the other politicians local to us?
yeah. I mean, there's
So
there's some
n-
there's some locals that have already been contacted to run for this seat.
Well, I mean, locally,
There's like 4 or 5 people running for District 9 already.
right.
There are like
It could be
5
against the lines
Republicans,
for us
yes.
locally.
but as far as state house goes,
No,
Aaron Grill, Robbie
Graw.
Brackett,
Graw's
Graw,
not
yeah, I'm
running.
sorry.
Graw voted against the redistricting.
Right. But this doesn't affect her at all, does it?
No,
not if she stays where she is.
no,
Yeah.
this is U.S. districting.
Right.
Okay.
So-
that's what I was wanting to know, because a lot of people, they just hear redistricting. They think they're, the guy they voted for down the road, they can actually go see. Now
Okay, so
Herodopolis is too, and so was Posey, was very approachable, but it's like we're in a different neighborhood all of a sudden.
Right.
Sort of.
Sort of an aside, so we don't forget to mention it. On Wednesday at the Heritage Center at 7:15, there is going to be a candidate forum for the 3 candidates for county commissioner. So people who have interest.
District 2 county commissioner. by the way.
Yes. And so people who have
Okay,
interest.
so who's going to show up? Which 3? Is it all 3 Republicans? So is
Brooks
that...
Robinson, Jennifer Pippin, and Bob McPartlin.
Oh, McPartlin.
McPartlin
just wanna go
was
back
a
to-
former mayor of Sebastian, or
He
He's on the city council of Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yes. He probably was
Yeah.
mayor at one point. And Joanne should know McPartlin very well because he was the one who was advocating for the taxing district for
Children's Trust.
CSAC.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
we go in there and say, "You wanted to raise taxes," and he'll say, "No, I've never wanted to raise taxes." He said, "You asked for a whole taxing district, you
And not even,
Republican, you."
And it
That's
says
actually
on
good.
his website, fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, what
not even a tax
you with
not a tax
responsibility?
deduction for the city. That's a tax deduction for an NGO giveaway.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
It's not even money that
But-
goes direct to the people. It's how can we give this money away every year?
That's the question I really want to
if
ask.
he wants to come on and explain himself, he's more than welcome. And on any Friday night, we'll make room for him.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
shoot, as a president of a local Republican club, I get to ask questions. And I didn't
Yeah.
ask that question. Now that I'm on this show and I've gotten all riled up and rebellious, I think I will.
Here goes your rebellious side. Oh my.
Now I
Come
want to
on
go
to
back
the
to
report.
the new District 9 for a second, because I talked to someone who's like in the know, and he gave me the lowdown on how this sort of breaks down. Because I worked for Trump in 2020. I worked Okeechobee, Hendry, and Glades. So Glades and Okeechobee are part of this new District 9. Okeechobee voted Trump. 69% in 2016, and in 2020 we got two more points out of it. It was 71%. Everybody was a Republican. Even the guy who was the Democrat still in office became a Republican. I mean, that's just Okeechobee. Glades similar but less.
That's good.
Because Glades has those old school, I'm a Baptist and a Democrat until Trump came along, and they're all Kennedy Democrats.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I mean, they start telling you stories about Kennedy while you're out there campaigning. It's pretty funny. But then you got Highlands. Highlands, very conservative. Here's the thing, Osceola County. So in a typical primary, 17,000 Republicans vote in Osceola. That's low.
That's it?
That's it.
That's
As opposed to
that's
Indian
nothing.
River, we got 32 to 34,000.
What's the population in Osceola?
Osceola's huge.
I know, huge is a number though.
Kissimmee, give me. Hold on, let me googly. You go. I'll googly. But
I'm trying to find an image of the new map.
And
Which
these
is actually
special
good
elections,
because they're going to be more Democrat, so they won't overly water down the rest of the district.
so Thomas, the special elections are during August 18th, the primaries too, right?
So think about this: 17,000 Republicans in a county of 497,000.
We need Scott Pressler over there.
In a year,
We need him to
Osceola County
mobilize that
population
county.
for Republicans in 2016, 50,000, 2020, 73,000. So it's gone up in 2024, 86,000. And then but in a primary, only 17,000 vote. That's pretty lame.
Republicans
Yeah, it is.
all
Yeah, if you
together.
have 86,000 of them and only 17 are voting. Registered Democrats, 81 to 86,000. Registered Republicans, 65, 69. Key voter statistics. This is basically googly Google. So, in their AI Gemini. But this is other than what's up here on the Panhandle, which is awfully huge in number 2. We're at 9 and 22.
Look how big it looks.
And
It is.
this is the Glades borderline, and the lake is right here. Clewiston's pretty much right there on that corner, that southmost corner. It's a little.
We're not
bit
seeing your
deep
mouse.
right there.
Yeah,
you don't
call
see-
out your corners.
So if you come down here to the bottom, there's that flat line going across,
Yep.
and then it goes
District
up.
9.
Then it goes up and then over. That over is Okeechobee, and then that's the rest of the lake. And Clewiston is down here, east of that corner there. That goes into District 22. And Clewiston's Hendry County. So that's basically the Glades County line. It's all of Glades. This little up here where 10 is and it hits 10 is, that's orange. That's orange.
That's Orlando.
Yeah, that's Orlando. And so that little up there on the top, that is the part of Orange County. That's a suburb of Orlando.
Yep.
So the question is, will the district's only coastal community get the attention it deserves from whoever ends up in this office?
If that person comes from here,
Yeah.
Right.
the other thing, if you look at 21, that's only Port St. Lucie, the city, for the most part, and most of Port St. Lucie south into Martin County. So when you see that hard line there, you go Indian River, and then it turns down there on 21.
Yeah, where
It
there's
goes into
almost like
9.
a little
That's
peak.
western St. Lucie County. Basically, if you go out 70 where Midway Road hits at the big traffic light, that's the new boundary. And I think the fairgrounds, I'm not sure out there. I think they were going to incorporate them at one point into Port St. Lucie, the city. I don't know if they did, but I know that they were going out to that edge. There were Midway meets 70. So all of that western St. Lucie County is in our district as well. It's actually increased in size. Erin Grawl has some of that representation for her Senate district, and she
Through
also
those lines.
She's also in Okeechobee as well
Who drew them?
for the Senate,
Yeah.
state
What?
Senate. That is.
They
It's
did.
like, I don't like how they drew them.
They didn't draw them for you, Joanne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're
I
incorporating
don't approve.
populations. They're meeting the minimum requirements as far as population, and I'm sure it's you don't want to just divide a town, so that you have to get a little creative with your lines. But it definitely looks better than what Louisiana looked like.
Well, yeah,
Louisiana had that one district that just went from one end to the other, and it was like 3 miles wide.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, you look at this. This is actually pretty reasonable. The boundaries are all. I mean, except for the little nub that comes out and picks up Indian River County.
Yeah.
Most of these are pretty much.
Yeah. Now I feel like they probably could have gotten our measly 177,000 somewhere else to make up their district and just kept us with 8 or 21. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe it is to share the coast.
Well, Port
I
St.
don't know.
Port St. Lucie is such a huge city. It's got a lot of population. It's the majority of St. Lucie County anyway, if not all of it. I mean, and I think it's because too that Indian River County's always thought of itself as an agrarian agriculture first county. That's what our IRC report says, and that's our focus, and that's why we don't have urban service boundary discussions too much and all that other stuff, and we're very hard on growth because you'd have to change that paradigm. And look at the airport. We're setting tax revenue records right now. Just from the tourist development tax. They got like $892,000 I heard from Ryan Butler on the radio yesterday. That's a record
Thomas,
for tourists.
do you know when they close the date for candidates to run for District 9? Because there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 candidates up there now.
There's 5 up there. All of them are from Osceola, I think.
Yeah, I tried reaching 2 of them. The others, they don't have phone numbers, so I've got to do research to try to find their phone
probably
numbers.
been a good campaign.
I do know that that for petitions, the petition deadline here locally is Monday.
Well, you don't need petitions for U.S.
Right, but I'm saying they have, and we have a follow-on deadline for actually running for office. So
Today I learned if you want to be in the mosquito control district, you either can pay $25 or get 3 petitions.
Really?
Oh, wow, that's so easy.
I know.
So
What?
is that job just like really easy to do? Is that why?
The pay's nice enough.
No, it's $400 a month.
That's all? I thought it was more than that.
No, the
Oh,
director's
wow.
$165,000 a year.
Okay.
People who think these guys make all kinds of money working in local government, they're wrong.
Right.
There's not a lot of money.
Commissioners make
Kickbacks and
$82,000.
maybe payoffs, maybe, but
Right.
Commissioners are set by the state though, so they make $82,000. So you're constitutionals.
well, I think
Yeah,
your
they're-
city council members are too, and it's not very.
No, city
It's
council.
not
is city
a lot.
City
council.
doesn't make a
That's-
lot of money.
No, city council's like $1,700 a month or something.
Yeah,
I did the math on the Fellsmere one, and it was. I don't see how it's worth it for anybody, even the school district. Like, I mean, I know what you're in it for
But you're
is
supposed to serve.
community service, but yes, but you're also supposed to put yourself through hell through a campaign. Who wants to do that? Kevin, you've done it. Thomas, all 3 of you have done campaigns. I'm the only guy here who hasn't lost his mind yet.
We've tried to get you to do this.
You might catch
Yeah,
that
right.
fire, so be careful.
Hey man, it
it's
took me a year and a half for my feet to heal from all that walking. And my feet, I would get out of bed and touch the floor, and it was like I was stepping on nails
Really?
for like a year and a half. And finally, that's gone.
You guys busted your butt, man.
I'll tell you, I was like,
All
is this
it
ever
would take
going
for me
away?
is one day my back's hurting and I take one of those tramadols and I just lose my filter. And next thing I know, the sheriff will have me in the back of a car. There goes my political career.
So listen, I'm going to try to get these District 9 guys
Don't
on if I
take
can
the
get a hold of them.
tramadol.
I can't
Like I
take that
said
stuff.
before,
It
what's
makes
a
me
filter?
throw up.
What's a filter?
What's a filter?
Yeah, it would be great though, Joanne, to get some of these guys on, and especially if we get somebody local to throw in their hat. But
Yeah, the only
is there
person-
going to be somebody local?
Only person that
There might
runs
be.
to my mind would be like Bobby, not Bobby, but Robbie.
Robbie, not Bobby. Well,
Brackett?
Bobby is Robbie, and
Robbie
Robbie is
Brackett.
Bobby. I'm
Maybe.
sorry.
Maybe
We're having a
Take
deep
some
political
tramadol.
discussion. I'm sorry.
Take
maybe
some
a Joe
Tramadol.
Fletcher. Maybe Joe Fletcher.
Oh
No
yeah,
way.
we'd love. He'll come on as long
He's
as I'm not
done.
here.
He's done.
He won't
He's-
come on here either.
No, he won't. We already invited him and he didn't come on.
Yeah.
Or he said he was, but he changed his mind.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
You should ask him again.
all right, guys.
You should ask him for his perspective on the current flock of candidates.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor
So
has
did
it
I
he-
get my answer from you, Thomas? The primaries, they're also voting the special election, the District 9s, they're going to be in the primaries, right? August 18th. Are they going to be on the
They
ballot?
would have to be, because if you got 6, I have a feeling there's going to be another candidate jumping in here soon, and most people will be happy with that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Who,
so.
who do you think that is?
I'm going to withhold that.
Well, book them. Book them, Dano.
Book 'em.
We need them on the show when they
Yeah,
announce.
bring them on board.
But yeah, and if that, because the only reason I'm withholding is because
Because he might not do it.
discussions have happened, but there's just not, the whirlwind ain't quite over yet. It's where they can sit down and think about it.
They're not solid then.
No.
Yeah, so they got to go through all the hoops of family and things like that, and that's fine. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, so you're gonna have to have a primary because there's 5 Republicans and everyone's running against this Soto guy, and they're all running because I think they think they can win just because of you've got Okeechobee, Glades, and these places that Soto hasn't had to campaign in, and in Indian River, it's just not going to fly.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a more challenging campaign this time around because the map is so big.
Yeah, I wish we were still with Brevard, only because Herodopoulos is great. He's been great.
Especially because he's only 50 not even 50 miles up the road. Straight
He's been
road.
much better than I thought that he would be.
Well,
Me too.
yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but he's just a down to earth. He's got it. He's got that certain style about him that sort of throws you off a little bit, but
But he's experienced and he knows
He's a
but
genuine
he's doing
dude.
some of the right things.
he's genuine. He's just a happy, genuine person
But the answer to your question
with a
is
cool hairdo.
June 12th.
June
What's
12th
June
is the
12th?
deadline for District 9.
No,
Okay.
for the
There,
state.
probably, right?
Yeah, do not do it to apply. I say.
So right now, the 2 top earners for the District 9 campaign with donations is Darren Soto, the Democrat, and Thomas Chalafox.
Chalafox.
Chalafox, is that how you say it?
I don't.
Right, however you want.
Just call him Chally.
Old
How
Chow,
much-
Thomas
how much
Chow.
do they have?
Open season.
Jelly Fox.
How much
Yeah,
have
so
they
those are-
raised?
Could be Shallow.
Well, Soto has over $1 million,
Really?
and Charlie Fox has about $2 million. A
Really?
little over 2 million. Yeah.
I don't think
And
I'm
then
running.
Yeah, the other little, huh?
I don't think
You're
I'm
not
running.
$2 million, huh?
Yeah.
He's Republican or independent?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry, wrong. Sorry, my numbers are wrong. That's what they have in receipts.
Receipt.
Sorry, I have a split screen here. Cash on hand for Chalafox is $2 million, and for Darren Soto is 832,000 as of March 31st. So that's going to be different now, probably.
Right.
Yeah,
I was actually just looking at the money those county commissioners have in the bank too, and that's a little crazy. But
What kind of numbers are those?
well, Melissa Dean, who withdrew, she had 83,000 in the bank.
Really?
Did she really withdraw?
Yeah, she's ill.
Yeah.
withdraw.
She's officially on there as withdrawn, along with Damian Gillums, which, you know,
Damian Gillens withdrew faster than he registered.
right.
Wow. Yeah.
The next runner-up would be Bob McPartland with 12,500,
We got to warn people about Bob McFarland.
and then Jennifer Pippin with 4,697. You can tell who's grassroots. Daniel Brooks has 500 in the bank,
That's probably his own money.
but
He's
the
related
Democrat,
to, Carol
yeah.
Johnson. He's part of her family.
Oh yeah.
But I know that Pippin had a fundraiser, so she will be adding to that total.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I think you
Democrat
have
in the
to
race
end the
has
month.
nothing logged in for monetary contributions.
Really?
Nothing?
It might be his
Oh,
choice of
Robbie
social
D.
media
Hardingham?
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's an interesting cat.
Yeah, it could be his choice of social media pictures he had up in the past that might be restricting money coming in.
Is that the one with the green hair?
Yeah, we'll talk about him on a later date too if we need to.
I think it's
but
blue now, but it might have been purple, and it could be white.
it might be blue now.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Last time I saw him, it was
kudos-
blue. You saw him, it was green. What did you see? What color
Kudos
was
for,
it,
you know what?
Kevin?
Kudos for everybody running, because it is tough to run. You know, you put
It is.
yourself
It
out
hurts
there
your
and your
feet.
family, and it's constant work.
It's nonstop.
So-
It's a
Yeah, the
It
hardest part was just getting the signatures to get on the ballot, and the second hardest part is raising funds. The rest is just work.
How many signatures does it take?
It takes
1209.
How much?
1209 is what I was told
109.
by one of the
percentage of the total county population.
And I saw
Yeah.
Jackie Rosario announce today she qualified.
Yes.
He has qualified, yes.
Good
And
deal.
any of the other candidates qualify yet?
Ryan
No.
Matthews did, is my understanding.
Wow.
And he is
District
running for.
Was that with petitions, or did he pay?
Petitions, I guess.
That's pretty
You don't
good.
have to pay for, I think, a little while longer.
Thomas Lang is getting support from the Brian Barefoot contingent, and Mr. Dyer.
Maybe that's why he canceled on us this Friday, or didn't? Did he? Was that this Friday?
Yeah, no, he canceled
He
because of the children. It wasn't. It
Oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah, he had some stuff going on with the kids, so I don't think it's. I think he wanted to come on. I just got to try to get a hold of him again. But
All right,
he
well,
had
give him
some
a
stuff
break.
going on with his daughter. You know how it is. We've all been.
Yes,
parents,
I do.
You know?
Yes, so I forgive Thomas
Kids
for
come
now,
first.
but Thomas, if you're watching, come on.
No, he's
We'll
cool.
be happy to have you. So. But
Yeah, because campaigning and then balancing your kid's life and home life, it's a full plate.
It
I
just
can
remind-
imagine.
You know, it reminds me of Princess Bride scene
Which one?
where he's running down his list of things to do about how he has to plan an assassination.
What?
Because I got a wedding to plan and an assassination. It's funny.
Okay. That's all I got. If you guys got anything else, we can talk about that, or we can wrap it up.
Yeah, that's all I got. I just am
What you got?
excited about the school,
That's it. Just if you guys are watching at home, make sure you follow our social media pages. There's Indian River Connections, which is our local gig, and then IRC Media. I try to keep things fresh daily there, so make sure you follow those. And then there's our local group community page, which is I changed the name. I think it's Sebastian Felsmere Vero something or other community page. If you follow us, I'm sure you're aware of it. But make sure you guys check out there. Great businesses share their own work and stuff like that and recommendations. So it's
And,
super hyper local.
I just want to say, I did an article on the the Epic Estates' current their public relations battle, because they've been at this for a few years now, and they are who they are because they say it so on their website. They buy land and then they try and get it rezoned so they can make money. That's their business model. That's their business plan. It says it right there on their website. So I did an article on that because
It was a great article too.
It was.
It was it you
and that'll be,
chronologized.
yeah, I'm going to be posting that up on Facebook. I just haven't gotten to it today. There's a lot of other things going on. So
Obviously, they need
out
some.
there on the socials.
They need some help with their public relations in the community.
Yeah.
So far, they've gone the wrong direction.
So
Yeah.
is that up on Substack already, Thomas?
It's already on Substack. It went out to the email list, but I got to get it out to the public. That's why you haven't seen it on our page yet, because I just haven't sat down at my computer all day. I was out doing other work.
Yeah, but that was a really good article, Thomas, because you brought in some information I didn't even know about that of the history of Epic Estates. So it tells the story of all the way up to when they came up to September 9th to want to do those zoning changes. So
Right.
I thought it was a really good article, and you hit it
Well, thank you.
out to
You know
the ballpark.
It was
you know?
interesting that after that request for a zoning change, at the end of your article, you quote him as saying, "Oh, we don't want to do a zoning change."
Well, they've given up. That's really what that is all about.
I don't think he said it that way, though. Maybe that's it, but I don't think he said it that way.
Well, it's afterwards because he's realized we're not going to pursue this any longer.
I think he said it on at least one
got
other podcast
defeated.
that he said he never wanted to do it.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm still waiting on some information that tells you how much they wanted to actually do it. So,
Did they really want to live here?
Joanne, you have the right to remain silent.
Joanne, you're in a lawsuit.
How
That's
dare
why
we
I also
question
wanna talk about
their
this.
motive?
I'm just asking a question.
In journalism, you ask the questions. You don't give the answers.
My personal opinion, my personal speculation is yes, they did. For whatever reason. I don't know what those reasons are, other than
If they did, it doesn't make complete nonsense if they thought they're going to put up, or not if they thought they're going to sell their land south and put up a data center. I could see a group of H-1B visa people saying, "Hey, you can work at that data center. Here's a nice place to live, just north of there."
well, here's the thing. I mean, if you're a land banker, like they are, they've got all these LLCs for that. Really, the LLCs are for the purpose of what? To identify parcels of acreage that they have. So this LLC and their name does this one, this LLC.
Now, actually,
this one.
the reason for the LLCs is so that each one is independently legally liable.
Exactly.
So
And
somebody goes
there's,
after
and there's all those other little things too.
Yeah.
So, but the whole point of all this is that, Florida is having a massive deal with development because of the influx of people. And granted, we're the wonderful red state, the free state of Florida. Well, hello, we just advertised, come down here where everything is hunky-dory cool. Well, now you got to make space for all the hunky-dory cool people that showed up.
they can bid for our houses.
Yeah, and they're, and we got to make affordable housing. But but all that to be said, and then DeSantis just signed the thing about how these people who want to build these massive data centers are going to have to deal with towns and counties and not charge back water stuff like they're doing in Virginia. Data centers go up left and right in Virginia. My niece up there is like, she can't stand it. She said all around where we live they're putting in data centers because and their bills are going up and all sorts of stuff when it comes to energy. And so DeSantis signed that legislation just yesterday, I think, or today. And I just saw that little ceremony. And, and so now you got this land banking guy and development. Development is the issue in the state of Florida, especially in the peninsula, not as much in the panhandle, but in the peninsula, because A, the tourism, and B, I want to live near these beautiful places and do business. And so this guy, he comes in and he's willing to sell a parcel of land to the people who want to build Sentinel Grows, a $13.2 billion AI center in St. Lucie County. He has no compunction about it because I got a return on investment for my people that bought that plot of land, and we get that rezoning, and there you go. Their town council or whatever comes together, and what do they say? Well, you guys really haven't thought about drainage too much. How can you think about a plan for a $13.2 billion thing and drainage is enough? Their town council found their way out of that one too. But all this to say, if
water, electricity, and nuisance are the big issues, quite frankly.
Yeah, and if you're not considerate of those who have lived here, I've only lived here 11 years. Joanne, you've lived here a long time. Mike, you've lived here a lot. You're native, aren't you?
Yeah, he's native.
But 35 years of
35 years. You almost reached the you're allowed to run for president, but you see what I'm saying? And if you're not sensitive to these people, they're gonna tell you, look, that's what's going on in Fellsmere. And I don't blame them for that.
And that's one of the mistakes that Epic made. Is
the exact mistake.
Come in first and get the community to understand what you're doing before you try and pull a quick one.
And then say, how can we work with you to where I can get return,
right?
And you guys can get, change is going to come regardless. You don't want to have these constant fights with 50,000 people sitting there or 200 people or whatever in this little town in this room, and it's overflowing out into the hallways, and everything's legal on the face, but we're having these fights anyway because it's being snuck under people's noses and all this different stuff. And
he had some good ideas. He made some good points about using the land near the interstate interchange for commercial.
He made some very legitimate points.
That alone would have been a reasonable approach.
Exactly.
But he paid, what was it, $600 an acre? I think someone said. Whatever,
I just want to reiterate
pretty low
that we gave him an opportunity. I just want to reiterate, we gave him an opportunity to come on the show, and scheduling conflicts and time zones and whatnot.
Oh, it's only an hour behind time zone.
It's things. Well, he couldn't make it, so I'm giving him every excuse he gave me. So.
What are you talking about?
Well, the bottom line is, if he had the opportunity and he didn't take it, that's bad PR.
I think it would have been a good idea for him to come on and just talk on the panel and just
he should have been on 10 different local things.
Because it's a community that came together that was concerned.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. He is on a big local thing. He paid money to the Vero Beach Neighborhood Inc. to run a full-size ad. How often? To pay the admins to be his mouthpiece in the comment sections. Mm-hmm. Because that's pretty much what they run over there, allegedly. They run a paid
firm. I don't blame
yeah, they run a paid promotional service, and how dare you speak against the people who pay them? Because as friends of ours know, if you had any affiliation with Cap's Pizza, because they supported a business that had a rift with them, they're blocked, and so is everybody else who supported them, including us. For some reason, I didn't even know about it. But that could have something to do with Epic Estates. Now that I see that new ad and know what we've known over the drama within that group, that community Facebook group.
Wait a minute, Cap's Pizza is not allowed on Vero Beach Neighborhood Inc.?
Listen, this is what I've got. Thomas. And if you go to their page, listen, okay, so I'm glad we're doing this, and it's at the end of the show, so we're not going to get in that much trouble.
I've been blocked from that page, so I'm not even going to tell you how I got up.
We're blocked. Yeah, so if you go to comment, recommend Caps at all in the comment section, it won't even post it. They've blocked the words out. And if you've recommended them multiple times before in the past, you've been blocked too. So
the worst thing about the Epic thing is they didn't use it for positive PR. They used it to slander.
Right. They used it to advertise their lawsuit.
Right.
So, but with the Caps thing,
it's not good PR
because these are close to
defamation. I got a chance to talk to the community. I think I'm going to spend all my money to defame somebody rather than to tell people about me. And not even local. If they were local, they could say, I've been here 85 years. But I'm an outsider. I don't know if he's even a citizen. The other 400 people a lot of more citizens, and come
Oh,
into
he
this
said
town.
they're mostly
They're
H-1B
They
visa
became
holders.
H-1B. They're
And
U.S.
green card holders.
Right. So
He's a U.S. citizen, and he talked to. I mean, Joanne, he talked to you about this. They
Yeah,
just
he
became
came over when
H-1B.
he was like 25
Yeah,
on
and they've been here.
H-1B.
Most of these guys have been here 25 years. They're senior partners, so I have
but
nothing.
they didn't manage the communication properly at all, and
Oh.
the solution to not managing it is, hey, I know I'm going to bully and intimidate anybody who questions me. That's bad PR.
How do you
So speaking of that, I got to bring it back to Caps because they are supporters of the show and
I love
our
Caps.
social media pages. So what
Watching
had
all
happened
Hero
there?
football at Caps next year, I think.
Now the Facebook group page we're talking about has got almost 80,000 followers. That's a big
78,600.
base. And you can post. They've got rules. You can post once a week, maybe if they like you. And
It's
if you
very
pay
active,
more,
that
if you
post.
pay more for their endorsement, you can post more. I don't know. It sounds like a racket.
No. I'm gonna explain this to
If
you.
they're
So
making money, they're pretty smart at whatever they're doing.
she
Right.
verifies all her businesses that they endorse, and they have to have specific. They have to have specific standards. Obviously, bonded and insured is all that. So she goes through a very methodical thing, and I
Not that
don't-
methodical, and I'll explain why. Yeah, go ahead.
But in that regard, yeah. Now, continue.
This is a click. This is a click in how much you're willing to pay. So there's a tree company. I think the owner's name is Brian Rutherford. He actually, I believe he's got the new rodeo out west of town also. So he had a tree company that paid for their service, and another company come along allegedly, and told them that hey, he didn't have his workman's comp. He doesn't have workman's comp insurance. So they rescinded their endorsement of his tree company, which was false information. Back in 2023, I think it lapsed for 2 or 3 weeks, but it was something taken care of. But it just happened to be another tree company who tipped off the group admins. So then that's what sparked this whole thing off when Caps spoke out for his friend, and he got a lot of. I saw the messages from one of the admins, and it was pretty nasty. And none from Danielle that I know of, but the messages were pretty nasty. And Caps was just speaking out for his friend and got railroaded and then blocked and banned. And anybody who had anything to do with Caps got blocked and banned. Caps is like a hometown place. It's like you can't get any more generous or charitable than John Capiobano. Trying to come up
Yeah, they're always doing like pizzas and doing stuff for the kids and the schools, and yeah, they're like the community hub.
They're the best. But yeah, I just go by what I read on there in terms of the qualifications. But if you start engaging people,
jealous of their group.
Well,
Jealous because, like you said, they have that engagement, and that's gold in social media and any media nowadays.
And that's what you got to be on it.
Yeah, I'm not on their page. I'm not a member or whatever. I didn't even know about the page.
I was, and I didn't know until I spoke to John from Caps and had to go look, because of course I got to keep up on the local drama. And we're not on there. And we were supposed to do an interview with Danielle way back when we first started. And again, timing is hard because we all have full-time lives. But yeah, so there's a lot of conspiracy, a lot of rumors going around town. Of course, they're always only rumors about the practices over at that little organization and whatnot. So, but more power to them. They built a business model. They've got a hell of a following. Why not capitalize off it? Well, we do free promotions, but we're not going to shy away from selling advertising either.
Well, they have their own endorse page that goes separate, and that's where you can go find that Facebook endorsement page, and you see all the businesses they endorse. And then she highlights them and posts several times a week saying, hey, this is an endorsed business. They always get that label.
That's kind of like what we used to do when we would promote the Sunshine Journal and Olivia's and Caps and Ken Husky.
So that must be like her full-time job, because to do all those postings, you're like at it all the time. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you can manage
So
it.
it must
I
be her
did.
full-time job.
I
know,
did, but she had the store. She had a little boutique also that's closed up shop. So I don't know. I don't really know them and whatnot. So I know they're popular in the community. So we'll give them that respect. But they're competition. So down with them. Actually, they're not doing what we do. But to draw the following. You capitalize on these Facebook groups, and a lot of them get really territorial, and it's comical sometimes what they will let post and then what they restrict from posting. So, anyways, we went off on the side note with Caps there, but visit Caps Pizza and Pub in Vero Beach, hometown pizza.
The best.
Yes, the best.
Get a beer.
Anyways, you guys got good?
His sister Nikki's got competition because she's close to my work, and I go to hers for lunch.
Yeah, you got to go early though to get your slice, right? Don't they
I
cut
go
off slices at some certain time?
At 3, yeah, slices at 3.
Where's
I think it's
this?
3 o'clock. Nikki's, it's Cap's sister, right?
Where
It's
is
his
this?
sister.
Where's
Yep.
Nikki's? I've heard of this.
I've
Right
seen
off
it.
of Old Dixie.
At
Yeah, she's
what?
right
At
close to my
18th?
work, so I go there, for lunch.
Is she
after
just down
work
the road
sometimes.
from that place with the octopus on the front of it?
No,
Thank you for
no.
not saying that.
If you know where Strunk's funeral home is, that road, and then you cross
17th.
the tracks,
yeah.
and then you make a left on Old Dixie, it's right there on the left side of the road.
Okay.
I've heard all about her place. Like it's really good.
Very
Yes.
good pizza. I haven't had it yet.
Oh, it should be. I mean, she's a Caps girl. She's, it's the family business, so hers is
It's not
pretty
the same
good, too.
pizza you'll get at Caps, but it's good if not better.
Yeah, the
than-
sauce is a little bit
different.
Really?
hmm
We have to have a pizza contest.
But
Even
it's
in a
Well,
good
family,
pizza.
there
We
are
talked about
individuals.
this in the past. I
Brother
would like
sister competition.
no, I would like to organize TC Palm. Okay, we'll go longer. TC Palm puts out these clickbait, this rage bait crap all the time, and then they'll throw in these clickbait competitions like who's got the best pizza on the Treasure Coast. Of course, I'm voting for Caps because I didn't eat Johnny's down in Port St. Lucie. Like I don't like these are ridiculous, and people aren't visiting these pizza places.
Got to keep
So
it
they're
local.
It's doing nothing for the business. Like maybe you drive up some hometown energy, but it's not driving any more business to the restaurants that you're featuring. So why not do it local? Why not incorporate a few judges, a few people that you know, a few people you don't know, and make something over like a 6-week process and get some actual input. And it doesn't have to be negative or who's the best, but we
it's
can
not different.
feature
Because each
local
pizza has a different
restaurants.
feature. Each pizza is either good at this,
Right.
I like this, it has this sort of taste. I'm searching for some specific pizzas and pizza crusts over my years of life, and I'm looking for something around here. And I think it'd be a real good idea to.
Hey, Kevin.
If you like this, go here. If you like that, go
Kevin?
here.
You know what would
Your
be
pizza's
fun?
in New York City.
No, not actually.
Haven.
You know what would be fun?
Since we're plugging, I have a great story about Pizzoodles.
Oh,
Their loaded pizza is something else.
There's so much
Okay.
good pizza in this town.
Yep.
I think it would be fun if like 4 of us would go and film us ordering a pizza, like a little pizza pie at
Yeah.
the pizza restaurant, eating it, and then 1 week, and then the next week doing it at another restaurant.
There's a guy in New
reserve
York
this
that
for the
does the same
production
thing.
meeting.
It's a great idea. A guy in New York does the same thing.
And then we could do our.
We need to
reviews.
talk more on this.
Yes.
We need to brainstorm this for sure.
I have to
Yeah.
run.
All right, so let's wrap it up,
Oh,
guys.
hell,
We've kept
yeah.
everybody long enough. No, yes, definitely. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna throw us out to our outro, and we will see you next week. And in between, Catch Joanne's show and my show on Wednesdays, and keep an eye out for that latest article coming from Thomas from the Sunshine Journal. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Thomas. Thanks, Kevin.
Still alive.